Hello, welcome to my apartment-friendly accent wall. Here's a before. I'm going to transform this wall behind my bedroom and make it black. So I purchased contact paper from Amazon. It is extra large contact paper. It's not quite matte. It has a little bit of a sheen, kind of a texture to it. So if you're looking for a completely matte paper, you'll see what I mean when it kind of gets on the wall. It does have a little bit of a matte texture to it. But I'm going to start by peeling back just a little bit of the sticker sheet that it's on, folding that down, and then that just reveals like an inch of just like the sticky part of the contact paper. And I kind of adhere that to the top of the wall next to the ceiling and just make sure it's all nice and aligned before you lay it down. You just want it to be completely straight. You don't want it to veer to the right or the left. There's a little bit of tape on there, so I'm trying to get that off from when they shipped it to me. But it's looking pretty good. And then from there, the paper that you have folded down, you can kind of just pull with one hand, the hand that's behind the paper. I'm just kind of pulling that down and then straightening with the other hand as I go. You can also use like a tool to kind of flatten it out. I just used my hand and it worked just fine. The only thing I did notice is some of the contact paper rubbed off on my hands. So just make sure you don't touch anything because a little bit of the black contact paper does transfer onto your hand. Then you're just going to repeat this. One thing that I did notice, I actually just got 2 of these panels done, we'll call them. So 2 of the strips of the contact paper laid, and then I went to bed, and then the next morning I noticed it kind of separated. So I don't know if it kind of shrunk or what happened, but then I was left with a white stripe down the middle of them. I did a fix with the original paper that I had purchased. It was a little bit too short and not wide enough, so I ended up keeping it because I did use one roll of it on the wall. So I'll show you a little bit later how I actually cut that up into thin pieces and laid that in between each of the contact paper panels that I have up there. When you get to the bottom, you want to kind of just make an indentation, and then I just use a pair of scissors and kind of cut across that indentation to make it nice and straight. Now I'm doing the last half of it. I got a little wiser, so I'm actually measuring the space first, and then I'm going to pre-cut the contact paper so it'll make it a lot easier. What I had noticed when I was just kind of holding the roll and almost just like letting it fall to the ground and not cutting it first is it was getting quite wrinkled. The paper isn't the thickest of paper, but it is fairly easy to work with. This way is going to be a little bit more efficient and hopefully speed stuff up a little bit. So I measured the space from my headboard up to the ceiling. No, I'm actually not going to put the black contact paper where the headboard is, just to simply save on contact paper as well as money. So there you have it. But I am just cutting the pieces. I have one piece already pre-cut. I laid down a piece of cardboard paper underneath there just so you don't think that I'm cutting directly onto that beautiful hardwood floor that our landlord put down. So there is a piece of cardboard underneath it. But you just measure, and then I kind of folded it once I got the measure in place, and then I'm going back over the fold and cutting the paper. So after I have all of the pieces cut, here's my helper. It's my son coming along. You can see him. So that's also a little bit better when you have somebody kind of helping you lay down the contact paper. It goes much more smoothly, no pun intended, but it just kind of helps with somebody being able to hold it in place and then also smooth it down. So I was the one that was taking the paper behind the sticker off, and then he was actually holding it in place and then pushing it down as we went. You can kind of see one of the strips that I pre-cut that I'm putting in between two of the pieces of contact paper that I laid down there. Actually, this time I left a little bit of a space simply because the measurement it wouldn't have went all the way across if I hadn't. So I just left about an inch, maybe a little bit more in between each of the panels that I laid thereafter, just so it went all the way across evenly. You just want to make sure that it is completely pushed down so it sticks on there nicely. If you don't have it, again, exactly straight, you can pull it up, and then there you can kind of see where the detailing is, where it goes from the shiny to the matte. And voila! I went ahead and hung my pictures back up, and this is my apartment-friendly matte with a little bit of texture to make it look a little bit more high-end, finished result. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Bye!